right, let's call this meeting to order. Roll, please.
Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, and good evening, everybody. We have anybody signed up for public comment this evening? No. Let's move on to consent agenda. We have A, the 12/18/23 Commission meeting minutes, and B, the appropriation ordinances 2024-01, 2024-01A, and 2024-P01. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns on those?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda items A and B.
I have a motion by Commissioner Redlin,
I'll second that.
second by Commissioner Showalter. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we will now move on with the oath of office and the installation of the newly elected city commissioners, which happens to be the same commissioners that are sitting up here currently.
I have you first, so.
Okay. Going up there. Right?
Yeah, you. All right. Yes, yes. And you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Aaron Thompson,
I, Aaron Thompson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the laws of the City of Goodland,
and the
Kansas.
laws of the city of Goodland, Kansas.
I will faithfully
I will faithfully
and to the best of my ability
and to the best of my ability
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as City Commissioner,
as city commissioner.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, and then if you'll sign that and return it to me. Mr. Howard. I, J.J. Howard,
I, J.J. Howard,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
and the laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
I will faithfully
I will faithfully,
and to the best of my abilities
and to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
as City Commissioner,
as City Commissioner,
so help me God.
so help me God.
And your turn. I, Ann Myers, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Kansas,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the laws of the City of Goodland,
and the
Kansas.
laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
I will faithfully
I will faithfully,
and to the best of my
to
abilities
the best of my abilities,
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of City Commissioner,
of City Commissioner,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay, and if you'll sign that. Thank you. There you go.
Okay, well, congratulations, fellow commissioners. I am looking forward to another couple years with the same group. So I think we got a lot accomplished the last two, and I look forward to the next two. I think we can get a lot more done. So. With that, we will move on to the election of mayor for a one-year term.
I will nominate Aaron Thompson.
Second.
Second?
I have a motion by Commissioner Howard and a second by Commissioner Redlin. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Howard,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Redlin,
Yes.
Thompson, Showalter,
Yes.
Yes. All right, well, thank you, everybody. I do appreciate that. And hopefully I can have another good year of leading the commission.
this is the most obnoxious meeting.
Promise.
I, Aaron Thompson,
I, Aaron Thompson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
and the laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
I will faithfully
I will faithfully,
and to the best of my abilities
to the best of my abilities,
discharge the duties of mayor,
discharge the duties of mayor.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I'll sign that and I'll get it when I go back up.
Okay, and now we'll move on to the election of vice mayor for a one-year term.
I would nominate Mr. Howard.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Showalter and a second by Commissioner Myers. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Rechner,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Showalter,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
I, J.J. Howard,
I, J.J. Howard,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I support the Constitution of the United States,
that I support the Constitution of the United States, the
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the laws of the City of Goodland,
and
Kansas.
the laws of the City of Goodland, Kansas.
I will faithfully
I will faithfully,
and to the best of my abilities
and to the best of my ability,
discharge the duties of vice mayor,
discharge the duties of Vice Mayor,
so help me God.
so help me God.
You'll sign that, I'll fill in your name.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's move right on to presentations and proclamations. I believe that Chief Earhart has a couple introductions he's wanting to make this evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
So Sergeant Porter came to us right about the time of Chief Hayes' passing, so I didn't get to properly introduce her. I guess we just realized that. So I apologize to her for that, but came on right about that time, and she was filled one of the sergeant spots. We had promotion of Sergeant Luther here just last week, so I just wanted to introduce them and let you guys know. They're going to do a great job. Sergeant Porter's already done a great job, and Sergeant Luther's done a great job, and she'll do a great job as a sergeant. So,
All right, well, congratulations
you
on
guys
on
gonna
being
make them
sergeants.
talk or anything?
For that. Huh?
Any questions?
No.
for 'em?
Make him say at least one sentence.
Would you please come to the podium and say at least one sentence?
Well, I just want to point out that Kaylee and I actually made history for the city of Goodland because I am the first female sergeant for the police department in Goodland. And we are the first female team together in the sergeant's role. So
Very cool.
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting it.
All right.
Stand up and go around.
Come around, yeah.
Yeah. That's all we got.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we don't have any ordinances or resolutions this evening. Move on to formal actions, starting with the Welcome Center lease agreement renewal. Kent?
Attached in your packets is the Welcome Center lease. The Sherman County Community Development rents the building, or leases the building from the city for a very nominal fee. It's worked out well for both organizations, and they would like to continue using it.
Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns? I think it's a pretty good use of the building. You know, I kind of look at it as another way that we help support the community development organization, so.
I guess I'll move to approve the Welcome Center lease agreement renewal.
I have a motion by Commissioner Redland,
Second that.
second by Commissioner Showalter. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, and we also have the 2025 Airport Capital Improvement Plan approval. Kent?
Mayor, members of the commission, I believe Darren has joined us electronically and explained that there's no changes in the document. But go ahead, Darren.
All right, good evening.
Oh, I had to get my mic on, sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Good evening. So due to the snow removal equipment that you approved last year, since we had to use all of the available ACIP funds and this next upcoming year's BIL funds to fully fund the building, which is going to be over $150,000, we had to move it to the following fiscal year. So this year we have no grant program this year. The building will come a year from now. So all we did is our planning document, we just needed to shift all of it a year. So that just the second one on the list there is the building itself. We just have it. There's no change. It just moves from an FY24 to an FY25. We still have the extension of the runway and the taxiway, which is the main runway. Those are still scheduled with the FAA for years out. They have not been determined by years, just due to the fact that when that does actually go to happen, we still need Tech Ops, which is a separate arm of the FAA, to buy off on either the relocation or a new Mauser and all the light systems or what's going to go on there. So that's still in discussions. That is still programmed for some out year. We just don't have a set year on it. So it's still listed in the 1 to 5 year. We just don't know exactly when it's going to happen yet. So it kind of slides, kind of doesn't, because it wasn't in a set year yet. The only one thing that slides is the building itself, and that's based on how much money you have in your bank.
Okay. Easy enough.
One clarification, Mary. Darren, this approval tonight is for federal fiscal year 25, right? And then the
That is
building's
correct.
for federal fiscal year 26 is what it's slid out to, right?
Well, this is for we're already in FIS 24.
Okay.
So we'll actually get the building in 25.
Okay.
25's program.
Okay.
It's just we're approving a year ahead. So it just keeps the building in there. We're just not starting on it here in 24.
Okay. I just want.
We won't start on the building until 25.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? Darren? Okay, well, I will make a motion to approve the 2025 Airport Capital Improvement Plan.
Second.
I have a second by Commissioner Howard. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren.
Thank you. And I can't, did they already know that the loader came in?
Yes.
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Well, without any attachments. I mean.
Well, right. We don't have the bucket yet. The bucket's due to arrive in just a little over a week, about a week and a half.
Yeah.
So at least if the bucket's here and you get a snow, at least you can send the loader out with the bucket, because it's got a big bucket. It
Yeah.
would help get stuff cleared faster. So
And the rest of the attachments are over the next 12 months sometime.
scattered, right. I haven't checked yet. I was waiting until after the first year here. I'm going to contact them to contact the manufacturer and just see if they have an update on any one of the 3 pieces, just time frames when we might see them in. So I'll let you know. I'll get that back to you as soon as we contacted them.
Set a date for a work session regarding strategic planning. Ken?
Well, we kind of used the extra date in January, unless you wanted to send an additional date in January regarding the joint meeting with the Planning Commission at the end of the month, as far as January 29th. And I've gotten responses from 3 of the 4 planning commissioners that January 29th is okay, so that should work out.
Okay.
You know, normally we schedule during the winter months here when things are quiet, except for going to basketball games, have a strategic planning time. And I just wanted to know if the commission would like to do that this year. And if you would have any parameters that you would like staff to set up as preparation for that.
I mean, I think it's been good for everybody, for us and everybody involved to have those annually, to at least help us see where we are, what we've accomplished, and where our mindset is looking into the next, 12 months or so. I mean, I'd be good for trying to do that sometime in February. I don't think I'd want to squeeze another one in this month, but.
Yeah.
And that would give people a little bit of time to kind of figure out if there's specific things we want to try to focus on. Give us a couple weeks or so to be able to think about it and get information to you so you can have things prepared. But as far as like February Mondays, it looks like the 12th and the 26th would be the open Mondays, opposite of our meeting days if we wanted to do a Monday. Or it could always be another evening too, if that works. But
Monday
one-
seems to work for me.
Either one works for me.
Yeah, in February.
12th?
12th?
12th good?
Yep.
So we pencil it in for the 12th?
I'm assuming 5 regular time. So we're planning.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think that should work fine.
And that reminds me, thank you, Brooke, for bringing that up. On January 29th, we've had a request come in for a variance that obviously would involve with the Planning Commission. And we're asking the Planning Commission if we could hold a meeting of the Planning Commission to hear that variance hearing on January 29th before we would have the joint meeting. Whether that would be 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, try to work it out so they could have, it'll only take 15 to 30 minutes probably regarding the variance hearing, but have that ahead of the joint meeting. Would that be okay with you all as well?
I'm actually not in town that day, just so.
This is the 29th, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We just need to decide on a time if we want to keep ours at 5 or if we want to bump to 6, is what I'm understanding.
Well,
I think whatever works with the planning commission, I think they were the ones that
Yeah.
probably need to figure out what works for them, and then we can either go at 5 or later than 5.
Right. And the reason we're doing that is because there's a requirement for notice 20 days ahead of the variance hearing. So we can't hold it at the regular January meeting, and in order to try to be a little responsive to the applicant, we're trying to set up an additional meeting on January 29th, that's all.
are you just gone that one day, or are you going to be gone
I'm gone for 2 weeks.
2? Oh, okay.
I get back on the 5th for our meeting here.
Well, I hate for you to miss out on those discussions, but 2 weeks is an awful big time frame to try to work around. But
Yeah.
I'd be fine with whatever they felt they needed. If they wanted to meet at 5 and us meet with them at 6, or
I guess just communicate that in an email.
yeah. Okay.
That's it regarding that.
Okay. Let's move on. Another discussion item for the evening is regarding the PD vehicles. I believe Chief Earhart has something he wants to come say.
Hello again.
Hello again.
So, I think we talked about it a little bit before about the Durangos from Kansas Highway Patrol. I came up with another solution to keep the Ford Interceptors in the fleet. There is, and I found this out from the Trego County Sheriff, Ed Pritchard. He was formerly with us. He was a sergeant, and now he's the sheriff of Trego County. He went through this vendor and got a pickup, and he told me about the vendor. It is Asia Motors in Illinois. They have basically used police vehicles. I found a 2019 Ford Interceptor Explorer. Has 27,000 miles. It's about $26,795. I also found a 2017 Ford Explorer. Has 62,000 miles, and it's for $22,595. They are going to ship these to us for free. So there's that. And we have the police tax lid money, as you can see on your handout there, for $36,478 and some change in MRF. We transferred Chief Hayes' pickup to Sewer. They transferred $25,000 over to us, and that's in MRF. And then we have an additional $20,000 set aside for equipment reserve fund. So total amount would be available is $81,478 and change, and then it'll be anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 to outfit each vehicle. Some of the vehicles, the 2017 is equipped with full lights, so I won't have to buy any lights for the 2017. And it also has a console in it, so I won't have to buy that. Just a cage, which I'm going to take out of my unit and put into that 2017. Or I'm sorry, into the 2019. So we'll save a cage that way as well. So I'll just have some odds and ends to purchase. But like I said, we have plenty of funds available with that tax.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, I know when we had discussed the Durangos before, so that they were gonna be 29,000 apiece and then about 50,000 miles.
Yeah.
You know, that, these two vehicles, one is under 50,000, one is a little over 50,000. Cost is a little lower than the highway patrol ones, especially if we're gonna get them shipped here for free. That was definitely one of my concerns, is what the shipping costs would be. I mean, I guess I would prefer to, you know, kind of keep continuity within the fleet if possible.
Yes.
You know, instead of having, you know, some of one make, some of
Yeah.
another. It just makes it easier for recognition and stuff as well. But
Well, and it makes it, and I did go through, they have a bunch of vehicles on there, and I sat down with Levi today, the city mechanic, and he helped, basically we picked these together. Which I'm glad I had him come do that, because the one I was gonna pick, he was like, eh. So, you know, it's a good thing he came down and looked at that one. But yeah, they had a bunch of different ones, and this is the two that we kind of settled on and decided these were the best ones. So,
Do we
and
know-
Ford will be able to work on these if needed. He's very familiar with the Ford Interceptors, so.
do we know where Asia Motors gets these vehicles from?
Yes, so basically they buy them at auction, or before, don't quote me, but I believe they buy them before they go to auction from when the other PD up in that area retires them. I mean, you have Chicago PD, an immense amount of resources up in that area, I would imagine. I think they said that they get them before they go to auction, but he might have said at auction, I don't remember. But with the lights and stuff and some of them being outfitted, I would say before auction is what I'm gonna guess, because I don't think they would go to auction. I'm not sure how that works.
I just didn't
And
know.
they do, so they did run, do have the Carfax on there. They're both one owner, one department, owner vehicles, no other owners, and there's nothing else on the Carfax. I think the black one has a little scuff on the right upper side, but it's not even a dent, it's more of a, like they scuffed and just, they kind of sideswipe something, but it's not that bad.
Any other thoughts, questions?
And I guess, sorry, we're kind of hopping on this because, as we all know, they're very hard to find. And once January 1st rolls around, people are gonna start just pulling.
Mhm.
So that's why we were kind of hopping on this.
Look forward to those coming back into production. I don't necessarily like the idea of putting used vehicles into rotation on the street, so I understand that we're in this position that we have to look for used vehicles, but have always been a fan of making sure that we have brand new vehicles at the street when we're talking about emergency services, so hopefully we can get back to a point we can get that done.
How long do you think these two vehicles would, once, if they're added to the fleet, before we're time to replace another vehicle?
So we're sitting at Unit 9. You didn't happen to bring that paper, did you?
No.
So Unit 9, so there's three 2016s. Unit 9 was, my old unit was the K9 unit, and if it doesn't have 100,000, it's like knocking on the door. And the other two 2016s are in the 80s, if not 90s by now. Then we have the others, I believe. Carol, what's yours have on it? Mileage? It's a 2018. Yeah, so it's not horrible. And then we have the two other new units. So the 2016s is what we're trying to filter out in rotation. Unit 9 definitely is going to be, but 100,000 miles today isn't 100,000 miles 20 years ago. I was talking to the city manager about this. I mean, they more break down and wear down on the inside as opposed to the outside. And Levi takes care. I mean, he takes care of them. He makes sure everything's good, solid. We do oil changes regularly. So, 100,000 miles to me isn't near what it used to be. So, I kind of told Ken I would play this by ear to see how many breakdowns and how many issues we start having with Unit 9, and then determine, possible mileage. Because it could go 150,000 miles, it could go 200,000 miles, I doubt it. But, I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
But 100,000 miles now is not near, I mean.
What we'll probably do for the next budget, for the 25 budget, is probably include one vehicle for the police. Because we have three vehicles between 80 and 100,000, and a fourth one really approaching 80,000. So it's just, by this time, next year, there's probably gonna be another one at or over that 100.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's a question, and it'll be one of those items for you guys to decide upon for the 25 budget. For the 24, especially with one of these vehicles for the assistant chief, will probably work out. For the better use of the department at this time.
Yeah, patrol or get the mileage, but patrol or get the 27,000 mile one. I mean, that'll last us quite some time. So.
Yeah. I guess ultimately I asked because I was wondering if you thought that these two used vehicles would tide us over to a point where we can then hopefully next one we get.
Oh, be able to
a new
order?
vehicle. Yes.
Oh, okay. So I talked, Dan Brenner called me. It was after that we had the KHP discussion with Durango. And he was thinking late, I believe he said 2025, when you could start to order. That doesn't mean you'll get them. You can basically they've seized all, you can't even order right
Mhm.
for interceptors. I believe he said late 2024, maybe he said late 2024. Either way, I think we'll be back at it by the start of 2025. I think we'll be able to be able to start getting some. But you look at, what he says, some other reports say that it's not going to be till 2025, 2026. I mean, it's just all over. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody really knows. It just depends on how fast they can make them.
All right. Any other questions?
I didn't. That's Thomas County, and they have the most annoying tones in the world.
That's what everybody's thought. Okay with giving him direction to move forward with getting these forwards, if that's the direction he wishes to go.
I don't have a problem with them.
Yeah, I don't have an issue
Price
with
is
it.
right, and shipping's free.
Yeah.
And I think the shipping thing is, I think they're trying to get into Kansas. I think that's because they shipped, Trego County, they got a pickup. They shipped his free too, so I said, well, you shipped his for free? We're just like over here a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, feels like consensus is if that's what way you want to go,
Okay.
go for it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody have any other items up for discussion they wish to bring up? I do have one I want to bring up, and I guess this is to see what you guys, how you feel about it, if it's something you want to pursue. Weirdly enough, a couple of times in the last 2 or 3 months, I've been approached about the inability to buy alcohol on Sundays in Gideon. So I just, out of curiosity, I did a little looking. So the state of Kansas a couple of years ago changed the laws to allow for Sunday sales in the state of Kansas. But in order for counties or municipalities to allow the sales, they had to put up for their own ordinances, basically saying that they will allow the sales. I'm not saying that I necessarily care if businesses want to sell alcohol on Sundays or not, but it just feels like it's, if the state has allowed it, it's something that we could do to just get us out of the way if businesses chose to do so. I don't know if that's something you guys wanted to look at or not, or if you cared, or we can just leave it the way it is. But
I haven't thought about it, so I don't know.
The only alcohol ordinance or statute that I thought about is, I've had this come up several times, but I believe this is more of a county ordinance, but the prohibition of sales for alcohol in businesses that don't have a percentage of their profits that come from food sales. I've been approached about that, which I think is something that I would be in favor of doing away with. I haven't put a lot of thought into Sunday sales, but I'd certainly like to see the county move away from requiring food sales at establishments.
I think, I do have, and we don't need to make a discussion tonight, but I do think part of that is state statute as far as certain types of businesses have to have a certain amount of food sales regarding their alcohol sales. But, I mean, if it's something you guys want to discuss further, we certainly can in the future. But
One other thing that might be good as far as input is from the business owners themselves or the liquor stores themselves, because I had that come up in another community as far as the business owners appreciate it because then they could be closed. They had a day off. They had a day off. And sometimes that becomes a discussion point too for the business owners.
yeah. Yeah, I thought about that, and I guess the conclusion I ultimately came to was, businesses have their own choice if they want to be open or not. And I don't know that the city, if the state allows it, is it the proper thing for the city to have the ordinance requiring that of the business owner or not. I feel like that should be more of a business owner decision, not a city ordinance decision in this particular instance anyway. But But again, I didn't bring it up to discuss and how to come up with an answer tonight. Just if it's something you guys wish to discuss, we can, maybe next meeting I can get some info and we can delve into it a little deeper. But
It'd certainly be something I'd be willing to discuss.
okay. Okay, any other discussion items? Well, let's move on to reports, starting with our city manager.
Manager memo is included in your packets. Did include the executive summary of the interviews that were conducted by community managers. And then we will have a presentation at the next meeting, or PowerPoint that reviews that. So we didn't include it in the packet, but we'll include it in next time's packet and let you guys take a look at it for now.
Okay.
The holiday party for the city employees and also city commissioners is this Saturday at the golf course. We'll have a good meal and a good time on Saturday. So city offices are closed on 2 weeks from yesterday for Martin Luther King Day, and thus we will have the next meeting on Tuesday, January 16th, just to let you know. Also that day there's a free dog license day for renewals and for new licenses. So please take care of your pets and get more of the dogs licensed within town. And cats. Any other animals I'm missing?
Chickens?
Chickens? Yeah.
Most of the chickens are taken care of. So,
Have a good old chicken tagging.
and we already talked about the date for the joint meeting with the Planning Commission. Included in your packets also, we received an update from Sunflower regarding the wholesale member tariff. They had a decrease in a couple different sorts of charges, an increase in a couple others. I can't figure out whether it, until the bills come with what's the actual effect on our bill.
Yeah, that's kind of the same thought I had when I was looking at this. I don't know how that's going to affect us, but
I don't know whether it's going to be more or less on our
Or is it the same?
part, or if it ends up being a wash, you know, don't know. But it's included in your packets. We did complete the grant application submittal to Kansas Water Office the last week, at the end of last week. And we also had the emergency shelter opened up last week due to I-70 closing and the number of travelers that ended up having to stay over in Goodland, and all the hotels were full. So police department did a good job of working with the folks with emergency shelter and getting things so it could be opened up for a number of folks, and it was quite full. I don't know if Chief Earhart, you want to mention anything about that? Sure.
if you would, please. Yes, thank you.
Since you're here.
Well, first and foremost, the health department and Jenny Cure have taken on the responsibility of sheltering for us as a county. So I was just there to assist her.
Sure.
She had her staff there as well. So Jessica, Laura, and I ended up staying through the night, just awake, you know, keeping an eye on things. We had, if I'm not mistaken, we think 150 some people actually sign in.
Wow.
Several had pets. Kathy came into play at that point in time, which is also part of our plan. And so she came multiple times into town, transporting pets back and forth. I think there was around 6 to 8 animals that she helped take care of, so that was taken care of as well. I think Jessica went through during the night and kind of hand counted. There were about 105 people that actually slept there or stayed through the night. But yeah, the police department was great getting the cots. Some of them had to be brought from the police department building to the church. We normally don't have that many people stay there. So
Yeah.
all in all, it went well. Town was open, the streets were open, so we encouraged people to go downtown or wherever to get food. So we didn't serve any food or anything, but there were several donations of snacks and water and things like that brought in by community members. And then also at the very end, of course, we have a mound of blankets when it's all over with. And Jenny was able to get volunteers to come in and take some and go and get those washed and brought back. So I don't think it could have went any better, truthfully. So.
Yeah, It's awesome.
Yeah. I have a question before you take off. I don't know what the process is to select the shelters. Is there a reason that we can't use the church out by the highway so it's easier for the travelers to get around the community, or
That's
not have to
actually
drive them all the way down here?
correct. And the church is new since the last major discussion about sheltering. I know we worked with the college a long time ago about having it as a backup. The police department is always mentioned because of the space that's available, but there's no generator there. There's no generator at the church either, but it has the kitchen. I mean, there's just pros and cons to everything.
And the
It was-
shelter was at the Methodist church, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep, right over here. And when everything was said and done, that was brought up to have some new discussions. So I know the one, I apologize, I don't know the name, but the one at exit 19 was brought up as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No.
Yes. So I think there'll be some good discussions come up. It always happens after we have a sheltering event.
Yep.
So we think the last time we did this was around 4 or 5 years ago. So it doesn't happen all that often, but
Good discussion for LEPC.
of course.
Thanks, President.
Thank you.
And the reason that was open is that all the hotels filled up,
Mm-hmm.
and there was no places for people to stay, so, and there was,
We check the hotels every so often in dispatch, and this time it just, with the holiday traffic, it just went so fast that there was no time for KDOT to close quick enough. So, and then we had a closure, then an opening, and then a closure again, and that's right where it all came together, so. Yeah.
You need to take into account the roadways closed down too. I mean, that's,
Yes, yes.
yeah, another 30 to 40 rooms, you know,
Yeah.
just from that, so. And because of the time of year, there was a number of folks who were reported with families, so that presents a different situation as well, so. But, worked well, all's well that ends well. So, that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, comments for our city manager?
Just one question. Has there been any movement on or any follow-up on the white apartment building across from the park over here by the church? We had that public hearing on.
That,
He's asking about the public.
That white apartment building over there by the Catholic church?
I have had contact with him, and he said he will have the documentation from the structural engineer to me by next week.
Okay.
We are getting people breaking down the door.
Perfect.
Okay.
I don't know what the next steps that we need to take on that are, but I don't feel like I've received, from me anyway, I don't feel like I received sufficient answers during that public hearing to,
In my opinion, depending on if you guys provide the information or not, we still need to hold another public hearing and then make the actual final decision on how we are going to move about this. Whether we have X amount of days to have this done, or we gave you your shot and now this is what we're gonna do with this since it's been sitting for so long.
but the general response has been no answer at this point.
well, I think whenever we are ready to schedule the next series of steps, I think we need to do that.
We can do that. And we can start putting that together for next meeting, and in addition, whether or not he provides information.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Question? Anything else? All right. Thanks, sir. Move on to commissioner reports. Start down here on my right with Commissioner Showalter.
Nothing to report tonight?
Commissioner Myers?
I just want to say it was great to see the community come together as a whole last week. I mean, I read a lot of things on Facebook as far as how everything, you guys were all keeping up with the shelter and everything else. And it was just amazing to see and read and hear about that we actually came together.
Commissioner Howard?
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner Redland?
Nothing from me.
Okay, for the mayor's report, I have nothing more to add. With that, I would like to make a motion to move under executive session under KSA 75-4319B1 for personnel matters for non-elected personnel. I would like the commissioners for a period of 10 minutes.
Second that.
A second by Commissioner Showalter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Holds it down.
All right, we'll call this meeting back to order. With that, I would like to make a motion to move into executive session under authority of KSA 75-4319B1 for personnel matters for non-elected personnel. I would like the commissioners and the city manager for a period of 10 minutes.
Second.
A second by Commissioner Howard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Hey.
Hello.
Call this meeting back to order. I would like to make a motion to approve a contract between the City of Goodland and Kent Brown. It's a 2-year contract for the amount of $100,000 retroactive annually, $100,000 annually, retroactive to January 1st, 2024.
I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Redland. Any other further discussion? No, I just want to say we do appreciate what you do for us around here, and we hope you stick around for a long time. Roll, please.
You had $100,000 annually. Did you have anything in addition to that?
Oh, I thought that was $100,000 for 2 years.
Yeah. It almost sounded that way at first, but we will come back to that.
Okay. Okay.
Roll, please.
Showalter,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Redland,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay, I would also like to make a motion to give a one-time bonus or gift, as it were, for the amount of $3,000 for our city manager, Kent.
I'll second again.
A second by Commissioner Redland. Any other further discussion? Roll, please.
Redland,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Showalter,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else have anything else they wish to bring up this evening? I would entertain a motion to adjourn. If it's sung, it's even better.
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Redland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Howard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
That is great.